Fours.
So have you got saddles and all that stuff, or you don't ride bareback?
Sometimes I ride bareback.
Yeah? That'd be fun. Yes, I know.
When I take off.
So when you wrote the letter to Gorbachev, did you ever get a reply from the Soviet embassy or anything?
No.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago though, was it?
No.
You must have.
Alrighty, you guys just take a spot at the back there,
Peaceful breakfast.
Good.
but don't sit down so far that I can't see you, okay? Just squat back there or...
Everywhere. Don't sit in the hostel.
Maybe Chandra, I mean, she's a really big girl. She's only 13, believe it or not. 14, isn't it?
14, I grew. I got older.
Anyway, it's up to him where he wants to put you.
Why do you think it's important? I mean, why do you think it's something that you felt you wanted to get involved in?
Well, I was in India at the time when we found out, boarding in a Hare Krishna school there in Mayapur in West Bengal. We had a seminar on it, and some of the devotees that have been preaching in Russia and writing books in Russian, the Russian language, they told us about it, and they told us all about the persecution, the labour camps, and the child. And I thought it was a very drastic situation because they'd never get a chance to come to one of our Hare Krishna schools here and enjoy peacefully, or be able to sing and dance in the temple room, or even chant Hare Krishna. Just for chanting Hare Krishna they get persecuted. We were having a wonderful time over there in the festival, and we thought, they've got to have a chance to be able to just see what life's all about, just to be able to sing and dance and have, a religion of their own choice. Without religion they can't have love, and that just has to be there.
Do you think the song can do any good?
Well, the song will definitely have an effect because we've had so much publicity on it, and they're all beautiful songs, and everyone loves music. The music's got music will have a big effect. They'll have a big effect on all the people in general.
So what do you think might happen?
Well, I think that we'll get more response from the people in general, more people writing to Gorbachev, and the embassy got the letter Prahlada and Rani wrote, and so in that way it should build up a pressure so that he'll have to do something about it. I mean, if everyone in the world writes a letter, or if everyone in the world does something towards it, then he'll have to respond to us.
Down the front. Do you think the fact that it's children singing makes any difference? Do you think, why did you decide for it to be just the kids singing?
Because kids can help the world by what they do.
Do you feel quite strongly about what's happening over there? Do you understand what's happening to Krishnas over in Russia?
Yeah, but if we all come to something to help them, stop persecution that's going on.
So what's the main message that you're trying to get across in the song?
To let everyone sing and dance in Russia and have peace.
On the front here, do you like being a part of the singing and the recording? What's it like coming into a recording studio and doing all of that for the first time? And what do you know about what's happening over in Russia?
They get put in hospitals and they get drugs injected into them.
So how did you find out about what was going on? What did you think when you found out that the boys had written a letter to Mr. Gorbachev? Lucky last. What do you think about the idea? Do you think it will?
Can you move down a little bit for me so I can see you? Yeah, that's the way.
Why did you want to be involved in this recording?
To help the Soviet Hare Krishnas get out of the jails in Russia and the hospitals and everything.
What do you think it's like for them over there?
Hellish.
The history of it we've gone over before, but what was it actually that prompted the two of you to really move and start taking action?
Well, when we heard about the baby that died, we thought it wasn't fair, you know. We wouldn't like it if we weren't allowed to see our mothers or anything. So in the same way, we thought that if we wrote to Gorbachev and if we wrote a song to the world, that it might help him a little bit.
So you could relate, because it was someone young, you could sort of relate to the situation maybe more than you could to an adult. And do you think it will really do any good, the song?
Hopefully. I'd really like it to.
Why do you think it might do some good?
Because music is a wonderful way of telling everyone, because it's something that they can sing along to also. And something that they can think about.
So who are you aiming the record at?
The world.
What about...
And Mr. Gorbachev.
Yeah. At the end of the tape? Yeah. That's pretty well it. We'll just do a couple more closing questions and then you can go and sing again. Any other main point that you want to make that hasn't come out? Any key element or anything, or not really? So, has this been kind of a bit of an adventure, putting a record down and all of that, or, I mean, are you taking it seriously?
Oh, yeah. It's a very serious thing, being all the Hare Krishnas.
Are you having fun along the way, do you think?
Yeah.
So what are you hoping in the long run will happen after the release of this record?
It will bring more people will know about what's happening. We're asking everyone to write to Mr. Gorbachev or to give this a little presentation to help free the Soviet Hare Krishnas and everyone else who's being persecuted over there.
Why do you think they're being treated that way?
Well, in a major Russian newspaper, they said there were 3 threats to Russian lifestyle. One of them was Western pop music, Western culture, and the third one was Hare Krishna.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's a very, I don't know how to feel about that. I think it's funny.
Do you think maybe in a way this will be good to get people more aware of your religion as well, that people who maybe don't know very much about it might become more aware?
Yes.
Like the last one in the middle at the front. What do you think it's like? What sort of lifestyle do you think they lead in Russia as Hare Krishnas compared with the lifestyle that you have here?
Well, they just try and do what we do, but that all has to be undercover. If they get found out, they just go straight to jail.
So what do you hope the record will do?
Tell the leaders that they should change the rules and just let them have their religious beliefs.
Great.
Yeah, there's something like that.
Yeah, sure.
That's actually one of the Russian, I think it's one of Russia's rules that they be allowed religion, but you have to be registered. So when we try to register our religion, when they got back, they went, registered, and they got refused, right? So then when they went back home, there were 2 police cars waiting for them, and they got locked up in prison. So they have to register the religion. When they try to register the religion, they get put in prison. I mean, I don't think it's fair at all.
So you don't think it's just?
No.
How would you sum up the way Hare Krishnas are treated in Russia?
Well, they're not being treated very nicely. nicely.
Do you think it's right? Do you think it's reasonable what's happening?
No. You see, they're not being able to follow a religion of their choice. Yeah, a long time ago, Hare Krishnas first came to Russia, and they had a book fair, and then they heard that they weren't allowed them there, and they put in votes if they were allowed to put there and be there. And then after the voting, they just weren't allowed to have them there, so they have to do it all undercover.
And finally, last one here on the end, what do you hope? What are you hoping will happen once the record comes out and people hear it? Okay, great. We'll just get one wide shot and then you can go. That was great. Thank you very much. We won't use all of it. What we do is we, use little bits and pieces of it. So you were actually over there, were you? Yeah.
Okay, so Tracy, if you can just be talking for me, thanks.
Yep, okay. This is just a shot that we use so that if we want to cut some early parts of the interview to later parts of the interview, we don't get kind of a jump cut. We put a shot like this in the middle, which has got all of us in it. And then if we want to, we can put one of my questions from the interview underneath this shot and then pop up on it. What was that?
Kids are absolute and complete answer, even adults. Oh, I like it when Rani goes.